We'll go with that. We'll go with that. We'll go with that. That was something. Did we get the sound this time? Hello. Let me just sort some stuff out here. Usual thing. Disconnect the cable. Put away the guitar. Turn off the amp. Get on the backing music tunes. Can we do it? Where's the backing music? Boom boom. There we go. Should be all working, hopefully. Right. Let's bring you back. See? That went really smoothly, didn't it? Kinda. Okay. I've lost the chat. There's the chat. Hello chat. Hello live people. Hello if you're watching on catch up. Thanks for coming. Tonight we're going to be, or today, this afternoon, whenever this is for you. We're going to be hammering on about Squier. All things Squier guitars. We did the poll yesterday to hear what everybody was saying about Squiers, and I thought it was going to be very rare to hear of anybody not having any experience with a Squier. But there was a couple who've not had a Squier, but that's fine. Doesn't mean that you have to have one or anything like that. Just, I found it interesting because they're just so iconic in terms of the brand that you associate with beginners maybe. A lot of people's first guitar. And also, usually you follow that up with something else when you say and also, but yeah, and also they're usually at quite an affordable price. It's good for trying out things that you maybe wouldn't have normally tried. Right, I'm just going to check some of the most recent chat to see if anything's went wrong with the sound or that. Right, good. There isn't like a load of comments saying we can't hear you or anything like that, so that's fine. Right, okay. Let's just say hello everybody. Hello. Right, I'll say hello in the chat. We'll go back to the comments in a minute. Oh, also, before we go any further, I took some notes. First thing on the notes is what we talked about last week. 90 minutes tonight, if you can handle it. Today, whenever. So for here, this is 7:30 UK. We'll be going to 9 PM. But we'll try it. We'll see how it goes. If I run out of steam, we'll just, you know what I mean? We'll see how it goes. We'll try it out. I'm hoping it's less stressy, but it's not looking so busy tonight, so that's maybe a good thing as well. So maybe we'll do that. We'll see what happens. Right, okay, first in is Barbara. Hello Barbara, thanks for coming. Relaxing Meditations in as well. Hello mate. Rubbish Guitar Bloke also in. Hiya pal. Jed Ellis, thank you mate for coming. Maria Muggs is in. Hello Muggs, how we doing? Cal B from Montreal is in. Thank you for coming Cal. Graham Campbell's in. Hello mate, thanks for coming. Life Balance Dave is also in. Hello mate, how you doing? Dinger63, Phil Dundonian in the house. Mark Green Guitar. Evening Squier. I like what you did there mate. Hello, how you doing? Who else have we got? Carl B, yeah, we've got Carl B. Risington's in. Hello Risington, how you doing mate? Thank you for coming to my rescue the other day by the way, hugely appreciated in the comments. Scrambled's in. Hello Scrambled, thanks for coming mate. Rob F is also in. Hello, oh Rob F, you don't have a business meeting. Fantastic, glad to hear it. Where are you at? Richard Clark's also in. Hello mate, how you doing? Thanks for coming. Richard Sheehan, hello mate, thank you for coming too. Right, I think we're caught up with everybody that's in. Great, everybody's saying hello to everybody, that's what I like to see. One more thing I was just thinking of was drinking water. But other than that, I was just thinking before I came online here about live stream chat versus catch up. So I watch a lot of live streams. I watch a lot of live streams. And the experience is obviously different live than it is watching on catch up. So I'm thinking for people who watch on catch up, thank you for watching by the way, hugely appreciated. Sorry, I forgot to close that. Thank you for watching. Let me know in the comments, well either the live chat comments or the comments, if you've got any ideas of things I could do to make it more interesting for watching on catch up. Because a lot of times it's reading from the live chat comments and the poll comments, and I'm not sure if that's interesting to you or not, or if it's worthwhile watching, if it's off-putting. So if you've got any ideas for things to make it more interesting, fire them in. One more thing while I was thinking of that, if you want to help videos and live streams and things like that, obviously the currency around here on YouTube is things like likes and comments. Like the YouTube algorithm loves comments. So if you're watching on catch up, if you can do me a wee favour, if you want to help, you don't have to like if you want, that'd be great. But one thing you could do, even if you don't have anything to say, see if you just throw in like an emoji or something like that. Your favourite emoji is a comment, something like that. That will probably help. Be a good experiment to see if that helps views pick it up or anything like that. Anyway, enough about all that stuff. How's everybody doing? What is that? 7 minutes in and I've not asked how you're all doing. How's everybody doing? There's a lot going on today. What is it? 4th of July. Happy 4th of July. Is it happy? Whatever you say for that. It's election day here in the UK. Happy election day. What else is going on today? Anything else? It's National Squier Day, of course. Okay, it's not Squier Day, but as you know, I'll get into this in a minute, the format of the live streams and whatnot. The poll, the live stream, the video. So tomorrow's video is going to be this guy right here. Squier Sonic HSS Strat. Full review, had it for a wee while, gigged it, played it, all that kind of stuff. So seeing what all that's about. So that's what tomorrow's video is. Right, let's see what everybody's saying. So, to the start. Because we're going 90 minutes, we've got time to read stuff, so I'm going to take my time a bit more. Is that alright? Let me go down to the bottom just to make sure that's alright. Yeah, I think we're alright. Okay. Right, Barbara's in first. Hello Barbara, thank you again for coming. This will keep our minds off the dreaded election. Vote for Squier. Couldn't agree more. That's it. That's who I voted for. I voted for Squier. I did vote today. I actually didn't even know it was happening until I see. You know when you go into Google and how the Google homepage is always like something different, celebrating some anniversary or something. I seen that it was like the voting icon. I thought, oh, voting today, right? I better go and do that then. I pay zero attention to politics for obvious reasons. We're not going to talk about politics, but what I'm going to say is I used to pay attention to politics a lot, and I was a very miserable and angry man. So I don't do that anymore. So if you've got any politics that you want to throw in the chat, dinner, just get it. Leave it at the door, alright? Squiers, that's it. Okay, sorry. But yes, couldn't agree more, Barbara. Vote Squier. Relax and meditation's in. Hey up, Steve. Looking forward to another great video from you tonight. Keep up the amazing work you do. Thank you so much, mate. Thank you, mate. It was hugely appreciated. Relaxing meditation. Very kind sentiments. Thank you. Sorry, just one more thing I'm going to mention. Just because of a confusion that happened last week. Depending on what device you're watching on, whether it's a phone or... I was about to say a phone or mobile. Whether it's a mobile or desktop or something, there's a chat at the side of your screen. I don't know what side. It's the live stream, the live chat, and then there's the comments of the video. So if you do that, if you do the actual comments, I won't see them coming up on the live stream. So yeah, just keep an eye on where you're writing things. All right, all good. All right, moving on. Rubbish Guitar Bloke, you just had to buy a Ninja air fryer. Could have had one of the new Squier Affinity Telecaster thin lines for the same price. Gutted. Wow, that must be a great air fryer, mate. But I'm interested in how you had to buy one. You had to buy an air fryer. You had to. Over a Squier. I think you've got your priorities wrong there. I need to get an air fryer. Everybody's been talking about it for ages. I just don't have the space for one. Anyway. We're going off topic there slightly. Jed Ellis is saying to Rubbish Guitar Bloke, just buy a chip pan, works just as well. Cheapest chips. Okay, thanks. We'll tell the missus. It's been nice knowing you all. Great banter. Brilliant. Right, okay. Maria is saying, good evening, Steve. Good evening to you, Mugs. Hi off from Montreal, from Cal B. Brilliant. Yeah, yous and evenings from Life Balance, Dave and Graham. Cal B saying, nice deep tone. Thank you. That's that same patch I was using from last week. Double tracked. I like that one. I've not spent enough time with that amp. I don't love it, but that is one that I do like. So I'll probably just use that every week. But that, oh man, this Squier. Sorry, let's go into this camera for a minute. Seeing as we're going 90 minutes, we can take our time. This Squier here, I've done a video on this already. The Esprit Master Series. Absolutely love this guitar. I don't like neck humbuckers. Except for on this guitar. Wait a minute, have I put the right one on? Can you hear me? Sorry, just in case they pressed the wrong button like I did last week. I was talking about the Squier Esprit guitar. So I was saying that I don't normally like neck humbuckers, except for on this guitar. Sounds amazing. It's so creamy and thick. Love it. And most of the time when I was playing there, I had it in the middle position, which is my favourite on this guitar. Sweet, sweet tones. Love that guitar. You know what, when the live stream is done, I'm going to put a link in the description to the review of that guitar, because it's a great guitar. You need to check it out. They're used, sorry, not used, they're discontinued. You can find them used, but it's a very interesting guitar as well. It's like Squier's take on a Gibson. And I think I called that like the Squibson video. Haha. Anyway, right. Roy's Guitar Bloke saying the nut cam is looking and sounding good. Thank you, mate. Air fryer, fancy term for an oven. Yes. Delicious plate. Thank you, Resington. Awesome. Darren Gill, here we go, mate. Don't know if I said hello to you when you were coming in. Hello, mate. Big fan of Squier. I have a pink Contemporary with a Floyd and a 91 Korean. Both are damage. There you go. It's a very Scottish thing to say something's the damage. Or damage. Or are yours actually damaged? What kind of typo is that? Because I think here we would, in Dundee anyway, we would say it's the damage. But to say damage on its own. Ha. Sorry, where were we there? Hello Steve, hello friends from Rob F, hello mate. Life Balance Dave, you voted but forgot to comment. Ridiculous, mate. This is unacceptable. Thank you, mate. I love my Squiers, favourite being my classic vibe 70s Tele Deluxe and Seafoam Sparkle. Oft. Only 250 in existence, I believe. I know the exact one you're talking about, mate, because I've seen it before and thought, whoa, that looks nice. If I remember correctly, has it got a mint green pickguard? And are you going to fix it? But no, very good looking guitar, mate. I know the one. Nice. Right up my street. Pardon me. And again. And Richard Clark finally gets to actually pay attention to one. Great stuff. Richard Sheehan, you've got 3 Squiers, an 86 Strat 2019 S Squire and a Tele last year. Nice one, mate. So what was that? Strat, S Squire and a Tele. Brilliant. Can't complain about that. Hi, Robert. Oh, sorry, that's people saying hello to people. Nothing wrong with that. Resington, who needs Squier when there's Harley Benton now? Well, that's a really good point. That was something that was coming up, a bit of a theme in the comments from the poll. Yeah, I would find it hard to recommend the Squier as a first guitar for somebody. Not that there's anything wrong with Squiers. I mean, they're actually, these days, they're pretty consistent quality-wise. Are they? But we're going to talk about this in a bit. The lockdown period was a very, very dark time for Squier and Fender, the stuff they were putting out. I know this firsthand because I worked at the factory. No, I didn't work at the factory. I just bought guitars. But yeah, yeah. So Resington, I was saying the same thing. Jet, like in terms of Squier, most of the time on a Squier you're getting a 9.5 inch radius. So I know I'm picky about that. A beginner probably wouldn't be, but so a Jet would sort of tick that box for me most of the times. But yeah, Harley Benton as well. Talking about quality, price points. Yeah, just not as well known enough. Even although us guitar players, we've known about Harley Benton for a long time now, and it's kind of one of the first things we think about when we're thinking about cheap budget guitars that are decent quality. Squier doesn't get as much love these days, but I think for the general people who are maybe guitar adjacent, it's not maybe their main thing, but or you know what I mean? Squier is a more known name. Okay, sorry. I was blathering about a lot of crap there, sorry. Just ignore me. It's hard to ignore me when you're watching a live stream, but just go on your phone or something. Unless you're watching this on your phone. You need 2 phones, I don't know what you're going to do. Sorry, right, carrying on. Right, yeah, Harley Benton. Good point, mate. Carl B, should be a few wanting a break from election news. Yeah, is the news even on? What they're doing, like counting the votes and stuff like that? I remember watching all that. Waiting to see what was going to happen. Right, sorry, I'm not going to get into it. Right, here we go. Interesting stuff. Kamran Kawish Bilal. I have never owned or played a Squier. But I have been tempted to buy one of them hardtail cherry red ones because they're like $100. Well, what one's that? Hardtail cherry red. Could that be the debut series? No, I think they've got trims. Not sure what ones you mean, mate. I will have to look into them. $100 sounds good. But yeah, never had a Squier. So there are people that have never tried one. I think the later you've been playing as well, like if you just start, if you're a lockdown player, for example, maybe that wasn't the first thing on your radar. Wonder if there's something in that, like post-lockdown. Squier maybe isn't as much of a thing. Who knows? And if you have been playing since lockdown and you're still playing, you're still here, good on you! Yes! So I like to hear. And if you started playing at lockdown and you've stopped playing and you're still here, that's interesting as well. What does that mean? It means guitars are cool, whether you play them or not. At Resington, vote if you haven't or not, whatever, haha. Yeah, are you talking about the poll? Or the, I mean, what's the most important vote these days? Is it the general election or is it the, the hammering on about live streams every Thursday? That was rhetorical. Rob F, you're going to watch on the big TV and practice. Which Squier should I pick up? SSS Strat, H Strat or P90 Mustang? Oh, it's a lot of good choices. Mustang. Mustang's a great couch guitar, is it? It's wee, it's just kind of sits good. Yeah, shorter scale. But you be the accompaniment to, with anything you like, mate. To this, sorry. Maria, I'm learning to play using a Squier that belongs to my other half. It's an awesome guitar. Which one is it, Mugs? Please let us know. Jed Ellis is all electioned out. Yep, I could imagine that. Squier, Risington saying Squier, great feel and Queasy meh spec. Yeah, I suppose so. These days the spec doesn't sort of keep up with where Harley Benton's and I mean, if you go high-end Squier, Roasted Maple Necks, Contemporary Series, but what you're paying for a Contemporary Series Squier, that's the sort of higher end. Classic Vibe and Contemporary are about the same, aren't they? That's the same price as the higher end Harley Bentons. And the high-end Harley Benton specs, like the ST Modern, this, like the specs you got on these, oh my god, the specs! Craziness. Yeah, I know exactly what you're saying, Resington. Agree. Yep. Squier makes some very interesting guitars. I need to know, yep, is that from Archer? Is that Krieger? I was late to the party with Archer, I only started watching it this year, I love it. Yep, alright. Squier makes some very interesting guitars, yes they do. I love the Squier brand, how more adventurous they are than Fender with the things they try out, and I suppose they can afford to. Paranormal series, vintage modified series, a lot of cool stuff going on, love it. Yeah, I think the closest Fender maybe did to that a few years ago, well maybe 10 years ago, was the Pawn Shop series, that was pretty cool. Anywho, where are we at? Oh wait, and they also had the Parallel Universe or something, didn't they? But they were a bit more expensive, a lot more expensive. Maria Muggs, vote for the gas party. Yeah, I hear you there. Probably got enough of that, to be honest with you. Richard Sheehan, my two newer Squiers, Esquire and Telly, are both classic vibes, and I like modding them. Pickups, electrics, whatever. I just find that would be great modding platforms. Yeah, with an Esquire, how far could you really go with an Esquire? It's probably the most basic guitar ever, isn't it? Other than like one of these oil can things or something. But no, I really admire players who could play an Esquire or one of these single pickup guitars, but especially an Esquire. Just a bridge pickup, bare bones, all you need, no tricks, no whistles, none of that, just rolling that volume, and has it even got a tone pot on it? I don't know, but yeah, good on you mate if you can get that, make that work for you. I need all the distractions. I need all the things that mask the player. Richard Clark has Confusion every week. Fair dues. Confusion, that was the name of my first band actually. Cubby, anyone with a 2001 era made Mexico Strat, one available for you for, oh, from you, got you, okay, you're selling one for $400 Canadian or £230, good deal. That is a really good deal. Yeah, well, hit up Cal B somehow, however you do that. Or, yeah, I don't know how you would facilitate that, but that sounds like a good deal. £230, of course it is, mate. Is it left-handed though? Cal's a lefty. Pardon me. J4Y3M. It wouldn't let me chat because I apparently subscribed to you while watching a Made for Kids video. So I had to unsub and sub again. Oh, well, thanks for the resub, mate. Hugely appreciated. Speaking of subs, something went mental the last couple of weeks. It's been a bit of an influx, and it's looking like we're only like 100 away from hitting that 3K. If you've not already subscribed, please do. Consider it anyway. I can't tell you to subscribe, but if you want to, think about it. Make sure you're subscribed. As I mentioned last week, the big announcement was that I'm going to 42 Gear Street in Germany. Super duper excited about that. So it'd be great if I could take 3,000 subscribers with us, so you guys, we could go to Gear Street and I can, yeah, take you along for the ride. I've not thought anything about what I'm going to do content-wise when I get there. We'll be doing some vlogging. I've got this wee guy. This is my vloggy guy. This is supposed to be like making a big change, a big upgrade to the channel, but I've not really done many videos using this yet. But I will soon. I've got loads to get through. Sorry, we're going off topic. But yeah, 3K subs, bring them to Gear Street, that would be awesome. Okay, carrying on. You've got to do a wee sales pitch, haven't you, at some point? Yep. I own and love a vintage Squier Master, chamber telly, yes. Personally, I also see the Paranormal series guitars as Fender's test lab for ideas. Yep. Modern Squier quality is also pretty darn good for the money. Yes. Well, yeah. I'm just wondering, because I've not had too much experience with the new stuff, but based off of reviews I've seen, it seems like yes. But my question is, have they recovered, or sorry, have they rectified that terrible QC from lockdown? Oh my god. I mean, that was a few years ago now, wasn't it? But spoiler, here we go. I will be doing a video on this. You may or may not be familiar with it. This is the Squier Contemporary Active Starcaster. Well, it was. As you could see, I've got quite a lot of mods did to this. Check it out. Love this thing. Actually took it to a gig the other week. More on that later. But yeah, I got this in stock condition from my partner, Yoshi. Big shout out to Yoshi. For my 40th anniversary, life anniversary of my life. And it was also the 40th anniversary of Squier. So I'm the same age as Squier. Funny that, eh? But yeah, the first two of these guitars had to get returned. Long story. When I do the video on this, I'll maybe talk about that, but the QC was like so bad. Oh, like one of them had a faulty switch. I know it's not a lot. Clouding on the back of the neck, just wouldn't stay in tune, really badly cutting up, had dings, you know, it was just nightmare. So two of them went back. One had like really, it had like high and low frets everywhere. It was just an absolute buzzing nightmare. I'm going to add in a little bit more to this story that I wasn't going to, but I will. So the first one I think came from GAC. That got exchanged for another one from GAC. And I was like, nah, the ones from GAC, they just have a bad batch. I'm not going to bother with another one from GAC. So I got a refund, this was so awkward to do because I got this as a gift from Yoshi, as I was saying. It was, anyway. We got there. So we got a refund, and then they had them in stock in Andertons. So I thought, I'll try Andertons. So I phoned up Andertons and said, hello Lee. No, I'm not joking. I don't know who the guy was on the phone, but I told him the story. Could you do me a favour, and before you send out this Squier, could you have someone check over it for just these issues? Because I've just ordered two from GAC and had to send them back. Huge waste of time, long story. Could you check over it before you send it out? What did Anderton say? Well, the guy on the phone said, no, we don't do that. And also, he says, you can't, what did he say again? Yeah, any guitar under £400, you've got to expect it's going to have some issues. Yeah, that's pretty normal. He was just like, yeah, that's not. Anyway, which I thought was pretty bonkers given that, well, two reasons. One, it would be great if you just checked over the guitar given the issue, but there you go. And then two, he's supposed to be selling guitars, you know. Yeah, they're all going to have issues. What's the point? Right, sorry, went a wee bit on a rant there. Let's catch up. Excuse me, where did we leave off there? I'll find it. Oh, and then we'll get to the poll. Let's get to the poll shortly. Oh, that's what it was. Yeah, yep. You were talking about Squier Master Chamber Tele. Yeah, so the Esprit I was playing at the start is also part of the Master series. Some of Squier's best stuff they've ever put out. It's pretty well known. The Master series and the Pro line, Pro Tone or Pro line are some of the best Squiers you could have ever. But maybe they're just as good these days. So that sounds like a good one you got there, mate, the Chamber Tele. Resington, air fried maple necks. Yes, indeed. Mississippi Blues in. Hello, mate. How you doing? Thanks for coming. So, Steve, Squier, Harley Benton or Jet? For me, it's Jet. You know I'm a Jet guy. Look at that thing. Look at, where is it? The purple Jet. Oofed. Speaking of Jets, my main Jet, my #1 blue that's been super modded, is away for surgery. It's away down to England. If anybody's seen John Robson's video of where he souped up his Jet Tele, getting stainless steel frets on it from Agrajag, well, that's where mine's is off to get the same treatment. So pretty excited to get that back. But that means I don't have, not that I don't have, my #1 is missing. So what I'm going to be gigging is probably purple and this guy, the Fazley, which usually lives in school, but I brought it back for the summer because I'm off school, but I'm probably going to be gigging that. 91 quid guitar, absolutely amazing, love it. That's going to be my gigging axes. Another couple of guitars went away. The other Fazley, the pink one that I was refinishing, it's refinished. Working on the video now, that'll probably be next week's video. That's away to my local tech, getting all kinds of stuff done, as is the Ibanez AZES, which is part of that Fazley transplant operation. Sorry, this is just about nothing. Had to stop myself there because I realised I was just talking about nothing there. But yeah, they're all away. They're going away, getting stuff done. I'm getting some space because I've got loads of videos to make. I'm so far behind. Pretty much took a week off of doing anything video related. But I need to change that because I'm behind. Carrying on. There we go. J4Y3M. My first guitar was a Squier Affinity and have recently had a Squier 40th anniversary Strat and a Squier Classic Vibe Starcaster. Oofed. What colour Starcaster did you get, mate? I do like the Starcasters. Also 40th anniversary, so that's like lockdown time. How's yours quality wise? Is it good? Any issues? Claire B is saying to Karl, the made in Mexicos of that era are fine. I think you can do better for the price unless it has some good upgrades or you really want Fender on the headstock. Yeah, I mean £230 for a, I think that's pretty good for a made in Mexico, personally. Unless you mean he could do better selling it, like you can get more for it, I would agree. I think. Greg Green, Squier actually goes way back. They originally made strings, that's right, yeah. Fender used the brand line to make budget guitars back in the 1980s to offer import versions of Fender models, that's correct, yes. J4Y3M is saying GAC used to be so much more prevalent than they are now. Yeah, you know what, like I was saying with that issue I had with the Squiers, GAC were actually really great to deal with. It wasn't anything to do with GAC, just the guitars themselves were pretty terrible. Ironically, Andertons were not as good to deal with, but the guitar, that was the best guitar out of the three. It wasn't perfect, but it was better than the two it had, and I couldn't exchange it for another one. Right, we're going to get into the poll very shortly. IMA640, I don't know if I said hello to you, hello mate. Looks good for an old guitar if you've had it since you were 40. Ha! I see what you're saying there. Yep. Squier is actually way older than Fender. Yeah, if you're thinking about the strings, yes, good shout. I think it was the VC Squier string brand, pulling from memory. I think you could be onto something there. Odd because I've got plenty of guitars. Oh, there we go. Yeah, J4Y3M. Odd that because I've got plenty of guitars under £400 that were flawless. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. Like when I was speaking to this guy, I was gigging a £51 Fazley at the time. I was like, what are you talking about? Rob F. Of course, bad ones slipped through the net, but that was just absolute BS. There you go. Censored content right now. Rob F. 3 of the 4 Squiers I've received have had good QC. The other was sent back to Sweetwater for the replacement due to scratches on the finish. Nice, that's 75%, that's decent. Carl B. I always find mum and pop shops still give service. Chains are staffed with disinterested kids. Well, the guy I was talking to on the phone sounded, let's say, middle-aged. And he probably smoked a lot, going by the sound of his voice on the phone. But, yeah, look, he was maybe having a bad day. Could have been that, or maybe he's just an absolute, I better not say it, a baddie. Maybe a baddie. Greg Green, quality for budget guitars was to eat into Squier and Epiphone's market. Hold on now, let me read that again. Quality for budget guitars was to eat into Squier and Epiphone's market. I think I'm following you, mate. Rob F. Good call with the Mustang. I can keep it strapped around my shoulder while I type. There you go. Perfect. I'm glad that's working out for you, mate. Slodo. Hello, mate. Thanks for coming. Does anyone remember the Squier Deluxe Strats? That rings a bell, mate. Yeah, it's ringing a bell. I can't picture them. That would have been the same time as when Squier had a standard series. I don't think they have a standard Squeries. Squeries? A Squeries. I'm trying to think what the actual Squier lineup is now, right? So, entry level ever is Squier Debut, which is the Amazon only one. That's the cheapest Squier you can get. And then we've got Squier Sonic. Then we've got Squier Affinity. The Squier Sonics used to be the Bullets. Now we've got Affinity, and the Affinity has got upgraded 2021, I think. And they're pretty good quality, I think. Great mod platform. Might look out for another one of them. Then I think tied here, price-wise, is the Classic Vibe and the Contemporary series. In terms of price and quality, I think they're tied. Would you agree with that? Oh, Paranormal, I think, is at the same level as Classic Vibe Contemporary. That's my understanding of it. I need to check the prices on that. I think that sounds about right. That's my perception of it. And the Paranormal's pretty much replaced the Vintage Modified, although it's a bit more mental than that. So, like someone said earlier, it's like a proving ground for Fender. See, a test bed. That could be something. Where am I? Gearview Mirrors in evening. Hello, mate. Thanks for coming. Yep. Jet is just one signature guitarist away from being universally accepted as highly desirable. Yeah, you're right, mate. The people who've tried them know. Yeah, it's a funny one. It's going to be so hard for a young... When was the last time a young up-and-coming brand like made an impact on like your traditional Squiers and whatnot? Actually, you know who's done a really good job of that is, okay, not the most affordable, but Sire. Sire kind of come out of nowhere, didn't they? Got one of them. And yeah, their guitars, they didn't come in at the entry level. It depends on where you class. Like, a lot of people say that a mid-range guitar now is £1,000. I disagree with that. But it depends on what you think of mid-ranges. Do you mean like, maybe I'm thinking mid-priced? I don't know. But for me, mid-range is just anything that's like good quality. You could totally gig it. It's a workable, serviceable instrument, and those are just getting cheaper and cheaper all the time. But yeah, Sire came in, I would say, at the mid-range for me. Like 500, I think that's your mid-range, personally. Yeah, and they've did really well, I think. Everybody knows about them. They're well received, great reviews pretty much across the board. Pacifica, Yamaha Pacifica, I mean they weren't a new brand, but they kind of, when they brought out the Pacifica series, they had a good impact. But Squier is the one that came out of nowhere. The other one would be Harley Benton, but they've been a slow burn, haven't they? Like where a Squier came out with like instantly great quality. Harley Benton started off like pretty bad and then have built up over time. Jet, I think, the ones that I've tried, because they were like a ukulele, their experience with ukuleles is Flight Ukuleles was the company first. But then the guitars, I think they've nailed it in terms of sort of price, quality, affordability, features, specs. Yeah, so how do you do what Squier did? Because Squier, oh no, wait, that's actually, yeah, yep, you've actually nailed it there. Because you just said they're one signature guitarist away from being universally accepted. Because yeah, that's the Squier, that's what they've did, isn't it? Marcus Miller, Larry Carlton. Anybody else? Although I've always thought it was weird that the Larry Carltons have got like shredders and everything on it, and strats and... But anyway, fine. Good point, yep. I agree. Resington, best Squier I've ever tried might be the John 5. Unbelievable neck on it. Apparently it's same carve as the Fender. Oof. Never tried that. Oh, you mean the same carve as the, like the John 5 Fender? I wouldn't know what that is, but that sounds impressive. J4Y3M. Is there a better way of pronouncing that, mate? JM? Are the numbers meant to be pronounced as letters? Help me out. Your 40th anniversary was flawless. From DV247, no complaints. It's the two-tone Sunburst Starcaster. It's a looker. Two-tone Sunburst Starcaster, what? Oh, yeah, of course, the classic vibe, yes. No. What? I don't know what one that is, mate. You'll need to tell me. Two-tone. I can't think what that is. There's a Sunburst, but that's not... Oh, that's what's throwing me off, I think, because that's... I don't think their 40th anniversary. The 40th anniversary Starcasters is that one and the gold one. If there's a Starcaster I've missed out on, I'm going to be very upset. Graham Campbell, I went through 2 Squier tellies with GAC in a week. Oh, right, but as you said, easy to deal with. Ah, right, interesting. Was that about the same time as well, Graham? Lockdown time? Greg Green, just a heads up on early 2000s and 1990s Squier models are really hit or miss as far as QC goes. Quality control, right, yes. Okay, yes. Scrambled, QC equals quality control, yes. Early 2000s and 1990s Squier models are really hit or miss as far as QC goes. Well, I suppose... could you say that all the time, maybe? Oh. Something I had written down, right? I promise we'll get to the poll very shortly. Last thing I'm going to mention, then I'll get to the poll, right? Deal. I grew up. That's it. No. I grew up when I started playing guitar with the perception of Squiers were garbage, right? Because my experience with Squier guitars was playing them in school. And the school had 2 Squiers, and I couldn't tell you what series they were, if any. No, there would have been a series, but probably the cheapest ones. There was a red Strat and a black Strat, maybe 2 black Strats. But they were just horrible to play. I was playing my Jim Deacon Strat at the time, which was better. And then not long after that, I got an Ibanez, and that was just like amazing. And there was another day that I was playing guitar in school, and I couldn't bring my Ibanez, and I had to play one of the school guitars. It was just like, ugh, the worst ever. So I just always thought Squiers were useless. And then you get older and you learn things, and you discover things like the Gear page and Harmony Central electric guitar forums. That's where I used to do my stuffs back in the days. And trying out guitars, and you're like, oh, that's a nice Squier. And eBay, finding all these used Squiers and Gumtrees, you discover, wait a minute, Squiers are actually pretty good. And then you look in the forums and they're saying, oh, the Japanese ones are amazing from this year and stuff like that. And I'm thinking, oh, maybe I was wrong about the ones in school. What was wrong with them? Maybe that was a bad period for them. But I'm in one of these unique-ish situations where now I work in a school, and it wasn't the Squiers' fault. It's just school guitars are the worst. Even the ones we have in school now, we've got some nice Ibanez in school. We've got a Cort. There's is there Squiers? Pretty sure there's Squiers. Oh, and well, I got the school to get 2 Fazlies when they were going really cheap as well. So even those Fazlies, they're not playing that great either now, because they never get sort of adjusted. The strings are all grotty, the necks are kind of grimy, just because they've got so many hands on them. And yeah, there you go. So I was wrong, my initial thoughts about Squier. It's just school guitars in general. That could be a... Could that be a stream topic or a video topic about school guitars one day? Maybe not enough people play guitar at school to relate. J4Y3M is right in there with Walloper. Thank you, mate. Brilliant. So I'm assuming you're Scottish. It's a very Scottish word we got there, Walloper. Brilliant. Tippy's dad. Tippy's dad. Have I been reading your name as Tipsy Dad before? Maybe. If I've read your username wrong before, apologies. Right. In the US, you'd be wise to wait until Black Friday for Squiers. The sales are insane. Oh, speaking of which, we've got Prime Day coming up on Amazon soon. A couple of weeks. Got my eye on something. Not guitar related, I'm actually needing a new phone. Well, reason being, because I'm going to Gear Street, I need a phone that I think's got 5G for getting a signal out there, because apparently it's a bit remote. My phone doesn't do 5G, and it's actually been playing up the past year or something anyway. It doesn't do well with signal. Anywho, pardon me. Oh, what did we miss there? Right, sorry, I promised I was going to go to the poll. Let's get into the poll. Here we go. Poll time. Right, we had a poll, which we do every week. If you're new here, welcome. So the way we do this is, there's a little bit of a format schedule to the week for the channel. So Wednesday we put up a poll like this, which is this poll. So this week we're asking about Squier guitars, and what we're asking? We're asking if anybody's basically had a Squier, or if they've not, or I usually put something daft in as the last option. People vote on it, and then as you can see, we'll write loads in the comments and we'll have a good wee blather about it. And then the following day, which is today, Thursday, we'll do a live stream about it, and we'll talk to the live chat, we'll do a little bit on this chat, and the topic, Squier, is always related to what I like to think of as the main feature, the Friday video. So I'll upload the video every Friday at 6 PM UK, and yeah, it all kind of builds up and relates to that. That's the plan. So that's the format. If you're new here, thanks for coming. That's what happens. Subscribe to the channel and hit the notifications. There's a good chance that you'll see when the polls come up and things like that. Yeah, there you go. Okay, so here is the results of the poll. 173 votes, phenomenal. Thank you so much, guys, hugely appreciated as always. So I was asking, have you squired? Or I have squired, sorry, which means you've tried the Squier. And then I'm asking people what they've had. So that was 68% of the vote. I think earlier on it was a lot higher. And I've never squired. 29%, 30% have never tried a Squier. That's actually quite a high number, and more than I expected. And then the last option here was Squier. I like to watch the world burn. And basically, don't know if you can notice here, but what I did, I had a little bit of fun on the old Canva, and I changed the spelling of Squier. It's a common misspelling that we see of Squier, but it's actually useful if you're ever on eBay or Facebook or something like that and you're looking for a deal. If you search for Squier with the wrong spelling, you might come up with some results that not as many people see. Although maybe eBay are smart to that now and you don't get it anymore. But I've done it before. But usually you end up just finding like the ones you don't want anyway. Okay, we're not going to read out every comment from the... Oh, wait a minute, do I have time? Oh, we're going till 9, aren't we? We'll not read them all out, it's a lot. Right, Matthew Tyler Jones, thank you for your contribution. 2 Squiers started my late journey. There you go, see, you started. My boy wanted an electric guitar for his birthday. Took him to Andertons without any real idea what we wanted. But as the guy paying, I was thinking an East Coast bundle. Yeah, I was impressed by the customer care. The guy talked about what music Tom liked, looked at his frame, talked about colour, because you need to want to pick the guitar up, of course. Eventually we walked away with a Mustang, no bundle, but we walked away with a B-stock amp that was good. Different story though. Then lockdown, I started to pick up the boys' Mustang and started loving playing enough to want my own. Short scale Mustang felt too small for you, so you like the Clash and you got a telly. Sorry, I've started paraphrase now. Then the Squier Contemporary came out, and like Wayne's World, it will be mine. Oh yes, it will be mine. Nice, great stuff. So you got started at lockdown. This is actually, I'm really glad this comment came up. So first, after me just sort of complaining about Andertons, you've got a nice story to tell. Which is good, and I'm glad you got sorted out with great customer service. Maybe it's just the guy on the phone that's no good. Good stuff, and you started as well. Fantastic over lockdown. Brilliant. Look at, oh, John Robson's in. 5 minutes. Oh, I must have missed this one. Sorry, John. There you go. Apologies for my lateness of comment. Didn't see this until now. Skiving in between lessons. Good on you. I've had a metric ton of Squiers. Strats and tellies, by and large. Well, if they're tellies, you're going to get closer to a ton quicker. Great modding platforms. Yes, indeed. As far as I know, the Squier Stratocaster is the only electric guitar ever to be advertised on UK terrestrial TV. I recall the ads from about 83, 84. They were late at night on Channel 4. Wow, I didn't know that. Yeah, that's a good point. I don't think we'll get them I've ever heard a guitar advertised on UK TV. Interesting. Squier nonetheless. 83, 84, I would have been 1 or 2 years old, so I would have missed that. Uh-oh, we've got a problem. I'm going to run out of water. I might have to run away from the chair at some point and get stocked up. That usually does me for an hour. Right, Jam in the Cab. Love my Squier Contemporary Telecaster, which started your love of telly guitars. You sold it to finance a Fender Nashville telly, but you wouldn't hesitate now to go back to using the Squier because the building quality are amazing. Think you're becoming less of a guitar snob in my older years. Me too, mate, 100%. Anton, you bought your son's Squier CV Strats. Oh, you bought your, that's right, I remember this. You bought your son's, both your sons, Squier CV Strats, which are their first electrics, and they're very happy with them. They're both great guitars and well worth the money. By the way, I see what you did with the spelling of there too. Nice. That wasn't intentional, but thanks. But yeah, look at that. Anton, what a great father you are. Look at that. 2 CV Strats for your kids. If that's not a great start to playing guitar, I don't know what is. So good on you, mate. Good on you. I bet they're still playing. Are they still playing? Mark Greening, probably my best Squier is my vintage modified Strat. It compares really well with your CV60s. Thing I like most of the VM over the CV60s is the rosewood fretboard, yeah. So because it was a bit earlier, before they had all these rosewood restrictions. Makes sense. I've had a couple of vintage modified Squiers. I had the Jazzmaster with the 2-point trem and the duo concentric pots, where the top of the pot is the volume and the bottom is the tone on each one. Pretty cool. They use them on bass guitars. They were a bit stiff though and fiddly. Nice guitar, too much gloss on the neck, like what they do with the classic vibes. Anywho, Axton Color, my on and off main is a J Mascus Squier Jazzmaster. You alternate between that and your Harley Benton, oh that's like the Moz, right? Modern. Squier neck is sublime, and after a little fiddling with the trem spring, it stayed dialed in for the 5 years I'd had it. There you go, there's a great endorsement for Squier right there. Biggs 100, buys. Recently bought a new Squier Affinity telly. Affinity telly. Very surprised at the quality, setup and playability out of the box. Really good neck too, love it. Yeah, like I was saying before, 2021, the revamped Affinity series I think is way better than the previous Affinities. Some nice upgrades on there. Full thickness bodies, I think. Or maybe they're not. Maybe they're just thicker than the one before. 2-point trems on the trem versions. 22 frets. Was that always the case? I can't remember. Snackum. Picked up a Squier for £30 on eBay and it surpassed all my expectations. Great playability. How low were your expectations with a £30 guitar is what I want to know. But no, those were the days. I remember I picked up, well, another Squier actually. I think I replied this to you in the comments. As you'll notice, I still reply to every comment. Look at this, they've all got replies. I picked up a Squier Custom 2 Telly. That's the blonde one, maple fretboard, 2 P90s. 40 quid, brilliant guitar. I ended up selling it years later for a lot more than I bought it for. Yeah, it wasn't in fantastic condition, but I sanded down the neck and stuff, made it look a bit better. Anywho, Clucker, you had a vintage modified Telecaster for about 10 years. You swapped it for a Starcaster Affinity flame maple top, which you sold 3 months later. You also had a Squier 51, but that guitar wasn't for you. You sold it 1 month later. You don't have any Squiers at the moment, but the Squier Contemporary Active Starcaster and Shoreline Gold is on my never-ending list. Well, yes, mate, I think I said that to you in the comment as well. I'd recommend the Starcaster, but try and get a newer one. Maybe not one from lockdown time, if you can. King Karl, Contemporary Jag HH, bought a few years ago when returning to guitar lessons after 20 plus years. But you didn't want a typical S or T style. Nice neck, good sound, looks great. Yeah. Oh, speaking of Squier Jags, they just come out with a new one today. Affinity series Jaguar maple fretboard, which is quite intriguing to me actually. And it's in, what colour is it? Something brown. It looks black, but it's like mystic brown or something, or brown sparkle. It sounds horrible. But the maple fretboard's interesting. That's the kind of thing I would consider buying for the neck and then putting on another Jaguar if it's the same scale. Because there's a lot of Jaguars I like, but I'm not keen on like Rosewoods or Pow Ferros or anything like that. Anyhow, Rob, your first guitar was an Affinity SSS Strat. You gave your son a Bullet Mustang HH. Is that what you've got on? He traded it to me for your dad's acoustic, classical. Then you gave your daughter a pink single humbucker Sonic Strat, complete with a Hello Kitty sticker on the pick guard. All three are good guitars, excellent upgrade platforms. The current favourite is the Mustang with P90s. Yeah, look at that, eh? Squier for all the family, for your father, your daughter, your son, yourself, for everyone. G, you just started playing guitar in 2008. Just started in 2000, that was a while ago. Eh? Oh no, you didn't say just started, you said started, sorry. My first electric was a Telly style, oh yeah, I remember this, from the brand London City, which I hadn't heard of, but you told me that they were kind of close to the Farida brand. Offered more bang for the buck than Squier back then. Later that year, Squier released the classic Vibes. Great guitars, you enjoy the CV Strat, CV Mustang and now CV Jazzmaster. And nowadays you can't go wrong with any Squier. I tried all series, they're just amazing value. Yes, you're right, there's apart from that lockdown time and the few that slipped through the net, but yeah, they're pretty much, as a whole, decent guitars. But competition is now stronger than ever. So, yeah, there are alternatives. Maybe just not the first ones you think of. But yeah, generally good guitars. It's still good advice to give people, isn't it? But, right, I'm shutting up. Right, wait a minute, how many more have we got here? We've got a few more. Right, okay, I'm just going to pick out some, right, and then we'll go back to the live chat. I'm mindful. Wait a minute, let's check on the live chat. Hold on. Everybody calm down. Yeah, we've still got some live chat in here. Right, okay, we'll keep going. I think. Does the live chat get... Right, okay, here we go. Does the live chat get annoyed when we're doing the comment chat from the poll? And then what does the catch-up people think of the whole thing? Feedback, please, if you've got any. I'm mindful that I bore. I mean, you can't please everyone, but I don't want to bore everyone either, you know. Carrying on. I've lost it. Oh yeah, oh, right, I need to press this button. There we go. See, buttons, pressing buttons. Right, where are we at there? Right, I'm going to pick out a few of these. Whoops. Right, we've got some technical difficulties. Here we go. Right, we're back. Okay. Right, Right, did we do Ear G? We did Ear G, Animal John, you didn't start on a Squier. You had an encore from Argus. Oh yeah, I used to love looking at the Argos catalogue for the guitars. I loved the Squiers in there, I really wanted a Sunburst Strat so bad. Or a red one, I think I wanted a red one for a while as well. That was before I started playing guitar, I think. And then the Squier ones at school put me off, because they were bleh. Sorry, I'm just kind of running through these now. Derek Clacton, Squier Stratocaster, made in Korea, 89.90, bought it used in 91. Really nice neck, you've still got it. Yeah, the older ones, they're legit guitars, 100%. Claire B Guitar is a huge Squier fan. Wait a minute, where's the read more on this? Here we go. You've owned a bunch over the years. Surprisingly, I've never owned a Squier Strat, although a JV or a Protone are on your bucket list. Yeah, Protone, that's the one. Protone in the Master Series, and yeah, the JVs as well. These are the creme de la creme of Squiers. You like there's a wide range of features, colours and body shapes, all at an affordable price. Yeah, that's what Squier do. Pretty great. That was one of the great things they've done with the Sonic series. I mean, this one being the exception because it's a black one, but the Bullet series that came before it, there wasn't as many interesting colours, whereas that's basically the main thing they've done with the Sonic series, is they've gave a more interesting selection of colours. Okay, you could rattle off the list of Squiers you've owned or would like to own, but that's too long for anyone but me to care about. But you were wrong because I asked you and then you told me, look, and there was loads. Where are they all? There you go, there's our list. Look, them, loads of them, right. Mark Erkey, crafted in China Telecaster, happy with it, unfinished neck, changed the pick guard to black, new strings, if only I could play. That's it, yeah. Buying them, modding them, playing them, not so much. Same here, mate. Pankaj Mawarwa. Sorry, mate. I ruined that, sorry. I'll try it again. Pankaj Marwaha. Pankaj Marwaha. Pankaj Marwaha. 9815. Early 90s Encore. HSS Strat was the first guitar. Almost 30 years later, ended up buying a Fender Player Jazz bass and PRS SE Standard 24. Can't see myself ever buying a Squier, more likely would buy a Player Strat or a Jet. Yes, this is what we were talking about earlier. These days that would be my first recommendation for anybody. Although, with the Jets, they do need some upgrades. Don't need, but they're a lot better with some upgrades. My mate Cyborg's in, how you doing, pal? 95 made in Korea Squier Stratocaster, 2021 CV Tele, 2022 Affinity Stratocaster Flame Maple. You only kept the body and you've got it as your Parkcaster body currently. All great guitars, yes. I've seen Simon's Affinity Flame Maple. That's a really nice guitar. The Cherry Sunburst, and you've got it as HSS now, is that right? No, HSH. Very cool guitar. Fender neck on it, is it? I love it. MIA 640, you've still got the MIJ neck on your Partscaster, been refretted due to wear, best Fender type neck I've ever played. There we go. Right, okay, I'm going to get back into the live chat. Thank you all so much. Wait a minute, there's Barbara. Let's read Barbara. You tried to learn on a Squier. Oh, this was a great story. Right, okay. Let's go into this. It's a long one. Tried to learn on a Squier. It must have been the worst sample in the shop. Your parents were fed up of the horrible noise, so they paid for some lessons. The tutor winced at your attempts to play a clean chord. He asked to try the guitar and he struggled with it. Once you'd shown me what was wrong, you took it back and you came out with a Yamaha Pacifica. It was far better, but it was hard to play due to the thick, narrow neck. A new neighbour heard you playing in the garden and said you were struggling with the guitar, and he came over with an Ibanez, which you found easier to play, just as you were at the point of giving up. You traded in the Yamaha for an IG, still got it, never looked back. There we go. That's a great story, isn't it? I was saying that to you in the reply, so many goodies in that story. Good on your parents for putting you to lessons, good on your teacher for noticing the problem, good on your neighbour for helping you out with an Ibanez, and good on you for keeping going. Brilliant stuff. Right, relax and meditation. You've got 2 Squier Stats and a Squier Tele that I gave away, and a Squier Bullet that I also gave away. That you also gave away. Good on you, by the way. Squiers were a good quality, good value guitar, but these days they have been outdone by the likes of Harley Benton, Fasley and Jet. These have no equal and bang for your buck. I agree 100% with you, mate. That's it. But not the general population, not of the planet, but of the people who are guitar interested are, they don't all know about these new ones yet. Boss Hog, vintage modified jazz bass and Mustang, both great. Classic P bass, great, and contemporary Jaguar, nice, but just not for me. But you like them in general, good. Right, oh yeah, Sean O'Hartley, you said reviews cripple customer decision making. I wasn't sure what you meant by that, and I asked you to elaborate on it, but I've not heard back from you yet, so I'm not sure what you mean there. But there you go, open for interpretation, I suppose. Jem's got a Jet, nice one. Amina has not got a Squier. You've not squired. Okay, sorry, I know it seems like I skipped some here. Gain Dane's there as well, sorry mate, we'll get into the live chat. But thank you all for participating. As I was saying before, even extending the streams, it is getting harder to read out all the comments, the live and the pre-recorded comments. But appreciate them all nonetheless, and like I say, this all helps the algorithm and stuff like this, so please keep them coming. And the ones from the poll, I still reply to them, just not reading them out. Hope that's okay. Hope everybody's alright with that. Right, let's get back where are we at. Right, what was the last thing we've seen? Okay, I think we're at Greg Green. I have a Strat style Starcaster with made in Korea Squier neck. You put Seymour Duncan pickups in it, and it's definitely fun to play. Good on you. This is the thing. Mod platforms, Squiers. Yes, totally agree. Cal B, your thing with the Affinity is how dull their maple necks look. Yeah, well, how pale. Is that what we mean? Yeah. Yeah, they're pretty like bleached out looking, aren't they? Yeah. Because I quite fancy an Affinity Starcaster. The same thing you're saying, the neck's putting me off, but who is it? Someone in here, I'm so sorry if I've got you wrong, they've got an Instagram page and they have an Affinity Starcaster in white and they've stained the neck and it looks absolutely beautiful, so quite fancy exactly that. Greg Green, Squier lines, cheap, oh, cheap money to quality, yeah, okay. Starcasters, bullet. Wait a minute, what are you saying there? Oh, right, okay. I'm not sure I'm following you here. Oh, right, you're talking about Starcasters as in the Starcaster, like, line, not the model. Because, yeah, they did the catalogue Starcasters for a while, didn't they? Right, okay, here we go. So, Starcasters, bullet, Affinity, standard, older guitars, modern, and classic vibes. Yeah, okay, I'm following you now, mate. Thank you for that. Colin Falcon, the Squier Bullet Telly is no longer available now, are excellent modern platforms. Yeah, that's something to look out for on the old eBay. Rob F, has anyone got experience with the $119 US Amazon Squier Strat? Just curious. Yeah, that's the debut. I've been thinking about getting one, and I might get one to do a comparison with that. I actually noticed Andy Guitar Geek just did one recently, so maybe I won't, but might do it. I'm keen to see what they're all about, try them out. Apparently they've got good fretwork, so that one doesn't have amazing fretwork, but Greg, Sire looks like a great brand, most likely a MIM Fender if you think in terms of 90s, 2000s quality. Maybe, actually, I can only comment on their basses. I've not even tried out a Sire guitar yet. I'll have to at some point though. Yep. Larry Carlton gave Sire a huge boost, yes. Agree there, mate. Gearview Mirror, I sold all my Squiers. I get a better spec guitar modding a Jet in the same price range. Yep, that's what I would do as well. Particularly for the neck heels. Yeah, Squier, I've not got that quite nailed down yet. Their contemporary series do better neck heels, but they're not the best. But they're good. Right, I'm going to try and do the last 25 minutes without water. Is that alright? I can feel myself getting dry. I might have to go get water. Right, I'll keep going. Revstar release seemed to give them a big boost, but obviously been around forever. Yeah, the Yamahas. That's the one, mate. Cal B, on this side of the pond, West Creek and M Musi are making noise with high spec and low price guitars, right? West Creek, M Musi. I'll have to try and remember that, mate. but does that mean it's going to be hard for me to get? Maybe. If I'm in Canada. Greg Green, my thinking, budget $50 to $300, mid-tier $300 to $800, professional 1K and up depending on the brand. Keep in mind Dan Electro doesn't really have any tier models either. Yeah, there's probably a video on that idea, is the perception on the tiers of guitars, eh? Mid-range. Mid-range is... Yeah, I think when you look at it globally, like universally, Meta, all the brands combined, it doesn't really work to call any of them mid-range, mid-price. Or maybe it does. You could only do it within each specific brand, can't you? So like say Squier, for example. You could say Squier's sort of like lowest tier as the Sonics or something. Mid-tier would be Affinities, and then the higher tiers are... You could say it within a brand, but universal across all brands. That's what I have a problem with. Because a lot of people say that universally a grand, 1K, £1,000 is a mid-price guitar. Or is a mid-tier guitar, or a mid-range guitar, yeah. It's semantics. I think there's a video in there somewhere. Okay. Right, sorry. Yeah, Jay, thank you mate, you're saying I can call you Jay. Yeah, it's from a long, long time ago when a young me thought numbers and your name was cool. You can just call me Jay. Thank you mate, I'm going to call you Jay. That's a lot easier. One syllable rather than J4Y3M, 5 syllable, yeah, okay. Thank you Jay. Greg Green, the 800 to 1K tier can be either mid-tier or professional depending on the brand. Yeah, exactly mate, that's exactly what we're just saying there. Jay, yeah, it's the 40th anniversary. Starcaster is just a classic vibe. Classic vibe. It won't be a 40th anniversary then, I don't think mate. I don't think, maybe I'm wrong. Right, IMA 640. Yeah, agree. Anything over 2K is for looking at instead of playing, yeah. 100%. And you know it's going to be a very well-known brand, or maybe not. Because if you think look at things like Shiji, Vola, these kind of things. Sorry. Moto Takahi, hello mate, thank you for coming. Hi all loyal Cassidy fans, and you too Steve, thank you mate. I bought a Squier Strat as recommended, then found the Fazley Coyote and love it more. I'm not surprised mate, the Fazleys, some of them are absolutely fantastic. I've not tried the Coyotes, I think I do need to do that at some point. I wonder when they're going to come out with something new. I'd like to, hopefully I'm still pals with Bax and I get sent some, that would be great. Greg, speaking of IMA 640, depends on the brand. Gretsch and Gibsons are hard to touch, most of their models under 2K for professional models. But yeah, north of 1K, don't expect too much in terms of quality. Oh, from Gibson? Oh, I wouldn't expect. No, I'm not even going to start. Carrying on. Mickey, what's up? Hello, mate. Thanks for coming. What's up with you? Jay, yes. Not you, the Andertons guy you couldn't think of a word for. Ah, right, okay. Right, got you. Scrambled. The guitars in my school were so bad, I broke the highs. Yeah. I think I could completely relate to that. The guitars in my school were so bad, I broke the high E string on 3 different guitars in 10 minutes. Mate, that just took me back. You just whisked me back in time there. That was brilliant. Mickey, you just bought the Harley Benton TE90 for €100 in the 70th sale. Nice one. TE90, is that the ones with the Trons? The sort of sandblasted ones. They look pretty cool. Good on you, mate. Blue Someone, hello mate, thanks for coming. Yep, as saying to Tippy's dad, good point on Black Friday. Yeah, also early January is awesome for discounts too, because manufacturer pricing is removed to sell last year's extra inventory. Nice business expertise going on here. Good point to Greg Green, getting a new guitar set up to your liking with the strings of your choice is critical to the happiness with the purchase factor. Yes, I must have missed something there. Mickey, a great quality guitar for half the price of a premium pickup. Yeah, totally. They exist. Greg Green, there he goes again talking about the poles. Oh, the poles. You got me. Mark Carter, you've never had one. I'm an Epiphone Start, now a Gibson man. I don't know if you're having a laugh there, but or if that's typos, but good on you, mate. Yeah, I'm the opposite of you. I'm not for Epiphones and Gibsons. Those style of guitars don't fit me too well, but good on you, mate. Something for everyone. DMAC, you had a cool Affinity Strat a few years ago, regretted getting rid of it. Well, the good thing is there's loads of them on the used market, so you probably be able to get the same, not the same one, but something similar. Too much better competition in the Squier, better competition in the Squier price range. I think, oh right, okay, yes. Yeah, this is what we're talking about. Jets, Fazleys, all that kind of jazz, Harley Bentons. Futurism, you were lucky to have Squier back in my day. We only had 2 really bad Honor Strats, just awful, that's a shame, mate. Yeah, suppose we were lucky, weren't we? I had a nice Jim Deacon Strat that I liked for a while. Greg Green, St. Rob, I tell people guitars are investments in happiness. The more you can change a guitar to your preferences, the better it is. That said, budget doesn't always equate to happiness. Yeah, there's another interesting sort of topic we can go into, is about modding guitars. I almost feel like as soon as I start modding a guitar, it's a keeper. It's like my excuse to keep it is to mod it to my liking, because you know you'll never get any, you know you'll never get what you've put into it back. So once it starts getting modded, it's a keeper. I mean, this one is 100% a keeper anyway, because the sentimental value got it for my 40th from Yoshi. So it's a keeper anyway, but I've modded the hell out of this, so it's even more a keeper. But I knew when I bought this, I seen this and thought, oh man, this is what I wanted to do to this guitar. See if you see this in the stock contemporary, it's got 2 active pickups, it doesn't have all the hardware, it's not got a pick guard or the inlays. Well, I've got a video coming about this soon, by the way, it's going to be great. There's a 2-parter, 2 parts to this already out. This is a massive spoiler, me showing you this, but yeah, it's brilliant. I'd never sell it. And it's the same with a lot of my guitars that I've modded. Sorry, don't know how I got into that. Going off on random tangents here. Greg Green, B stocks are always great. New guitars to buy to mod. Yeah, otherwise buy used guitars if you want to mod them. Yeah, B stocks depends on how B stocky they are, aren't they? Actually, KDH just did a video last week, on a B stock that he had, and his was, man, most people wouldn't touch it because it's got 2 big cracks in it, but it was a good story, good video. I like KDH's stuff, good on him. Mark Carter, Tokai or Hondo Stratocaster were the cheap ones I remember as a kid. There you go. Well, I mean, Tokai's pretty legit these days, isn't it? Greg Green, Mark Carter, I remember those brands being pawn shop staples. Never found any I liked enough to buy. Wait a minute, are you speaking? Yeah, I remember that as well. I remember seeing Tokai's, even although this isn't a long time ago, but maybe 20 years ago, seeing Tokai's like cash converters for like 80 quid, stuff like that. Crazy. And Anton is saying, Steve, yes, both sons are guitar addicts. Great, mate, glad to hear it. Sorry for you if you've got to pay for that, but great stuff. Matthew Taylor Jones, wow, my comment, first one read out. Yes, the customer service in store is great. Never tried online. Never tried online orders as you live so close. Brilliant. I'd love to go to Andertons, check it out. It looks like it'd be a fun day. Mark Carter, yeah, was back in the 80s when guitar shops were smaller. They would carry a few of those. Yeah. Greg Green, funny thing about Tokai, back in the 90s they were crapped on. After 2005 they were celebrated, go figure. It's a funny one, isn't it? Yeah, the Tokai single cuts, they're expensive these days. Although I never remember seeing any Tokai single cuts back in the day. Interesting. Christian Sons, I own an Affinity Strat in dark blue metallic. Yes. Picked it up locally in pretty rough condition for just €25. I got a little TSC from you and plays nicely now. Brilliant, it's great when you get a deal like that, good on you, mate. Mark Carter, Aria Pro was another brand, yeah. My friend had one, yeah. I had access to an Aria Pro TA40 I think it was. It's like a semi-hollow 335 type thing. Absolutely brilliant guitar, really good, loved it. And they've actually got one currently in Kenny's, my local retailer. A used one, because they don't make them anymore, but Really nice guitar, and it's the nice finish one as well. Tempting. Where am I? Cal B, your worst guitar ever was a 73 Raven P bass. Well, that's why that was your worst guitar, mate. It's only got 4 strings on it. The action was 1/2 inch across the board, cost $100 Canadian. Paper route money from 8 weeks saving up. Oh, mate, it's a shame you had that experience. What did I miss there? Oh. Something happened with the chat there, it jumped. Where's that went? Sorry, I'm lost. Where am I? Surely there isn't this much chat. What? There's loads of chat I've missed. What is going on here? Yeah. Oh, am I going to manage to keep up with this in 10 minutes? Right, okay. Sorry, getting carried away. What we're thinking of the 90-minute format, by the way? Is it too long? Because we're already over what we would normally be. I was going to keep this going for the summer if it went well. Things I've learned is I need more water. A pint isn't enough, so it's going to be a litre. But there we go. Right, sorry. Oh, I'm going to manage to keep up with this. I'll try my best. Wait a minute. I need to check my notes. See if I've missed anything. Right, okay. Here's me checking notes. Note cam. Right, hammering on about Squiers. Hello to the live. Hello to the catch-up. If watching on catch-up, have you got any ideas to make the sort of catch-up any more interesting? Mentioned about emojis. Chuck an emoji in the chat if you don't have anything to say. Helps with the algorithm. Tomorrow's video is the Squier Sonic HSS Strat. Explain the poll. Yes, we did that. And 3K subs coming soon. 42 gear streets happening. Yes. My Jet's away getting stainless steel frets. Other guitars are away. What is that? Stuff I'm working on is the ST Modern. I've got loads of videos to do with that. Like I said, I took pretty much a week off, so I need to get that going. Squier. We're going to talk about the lockdown Squiers, about the quality of my experience with them, with Andertons and Starcaster, did that. The school Squiers, talked about that, yes. And yeah, that's it. I've mentioned everything I wanted to mention. Great stuff. Right, okay, back to live chat. Sorry, I'm going to try my best to get through it. I think I've missed some stuff. Maybe not. Right. Mott Hoople, late to the table today. I've got a phenomenal CV Jag and a great Nashville telly, but my fave is a £40 slim 84 square Strat. You've modded it. The tuners are great and amazing. You're happy with it. Bradley Clausen, what's up? What's up, mate? How you doing? And good on you, Mott Hoople, for your mod project. Greg Green, I will tell you guys that any budget guitars you play and like, don't worry what other people think. Even if you level up, budgets make great backups and mod platforms. Yes, Greg, but not only that, you can gig them. I'm gigging them all the time, and that guy on the end there, this white Fasley, that I think I paid like either £91 or £86 for, but you were getting them for like £56 at one point. I'll be gigging that this weekend for a wedding. That'll be my number one, and the purple will be a backup, because I prefer the pickups on the Fasley. None of them are modded. But yeah, you can gig them, nothing wrong with it. Oh wait, there is some mods on the Fasley. It's got lock-in tuners and better string trees. Mark Carter, you've got 2 casinos, one I use and one, oh USA, okay, and one China made. You love them both. Good on you, mate. This is Squier today. Oh, joking, mate. Good on you. Bradley Clausen, ever try a Squier Model 51? Awesome guitars. You know what? See, when I started going on to guitar forums, this was probably, I want to say about 2008 time. Harmony Central electric guitar forum, I was on it all the time when, I think that's about the time they came out, and everybody was on about them and I wanted one, but I didn't get one. Okay, alright, good, we've got some conversation happening here between people, so I can go a little bit more further on, I think. Sorry if I miss anything. Yeah. Oh good, this is great, you guys are chatting. I love it when you guys are chatting, it's great. Mark Carter, those German Strats seem to be the best bang for the buck. We were talking about the Harley Bentons there maybe? Could be. If I had the right radius, I would agree with you. Opinions. Bradley Clausen saying you can take any Squier and change the hardware and electronics and transform it into an absolute beast. 100% agree, mate. Great mod platforms. Dave Lewis is in. Hello, mate. How you doing? Hi, all late to the party. You've been asleep. That's all right, mate. You need your sleep. We all need our sleep. Sleep's important. Okay. Usually I would buy used Squiers for $80 or less pre-pandemic. Now use probably 150 and up. Depends on the model, and new quality Squiers would be 200 and up. Yeah, they're definitely more expensive. Mark Carter, are they the same fit as a fender or is it different size? It depends what part you're talking about and what model you're talking about, mate. But a lot of times you'll find things are compatible. Not all the time, do your research. Where are we? Sorry, that might have been part of another conversation that I've just jumped into there. Apologies. Dave Lewis, I've got 4 Squiers. Was more, but gave some to Johnny Budget Guitar Show. Good on you. Alfie's in. How you doing, mate? Alright, Steve. Bra playing again. Thank you, mate. You've never tried the Squier, but you like the look of the Starcasters and the jazz shapes. Maybe one day. Oh, ho, ho. Yes, mate. I'm loving how you're getting the gas these days. Brilliant. Greg Green, keep in mind certain Squier models can run 1K and up in Antigua burst. Baritone Jazzmasters come to mind. Yeah, you're right, mate. I mean, it's rare, and they're on the used market, aren't they? I mean, you don't get new used, sorry. Of course you don't get new used Squiers. You don't get new Squiers at that price, I don't think. Do you? I mean, I know what Epiphone are doing these days, but that'll be interesting. And Tuon, have you ever thought of building a Dream Warmouth guitar? Yes, mate, I have. But in the UK, it's not as great a deal as it is for the US, basically. They look great, but shipping, taxes, customs and all that kind of stuff, it's less worthwhile for us here. Okay. Wick along. I think Squiers can be very nice, but you get a lot more for the money with other brands like HB, I think that's HB, sorry, Harley Benton, Jet, Sire, etc. Said already by a few, just chiming in to back it up. Partscasters even better. Yeah, I'm on the Partscasters, 100%. Yeah, HB, not HD. Got you, mate. Rob F, you're going to purchase an affordable guitar and then upgrade the heck out of it. You're much more likely to start with a Squier or Epi than another manufacturer's imitation of a Fender or Gibson. Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. And if it was me, I would be looking at an Affinity. I think that's where I would want to start with a mod platform for a Squier. That's what I'm thinking of doing just now. Either with the Starcaster or... There was a wee bit less. There was a few nice Affinities that I've liked. Oh, and you're also asking if I've investigated the Vega trim. Not much more. If we're talking about from last week, the Tele one, no. I'm aware of the Vega trim. Expensive. If I can find one cheap, a deal or something like that, I'd be interested. Okay, sorry, I'm just jumping through some of these now. Where about? Oh, there's quite a lot going on. Sorry if I've missed people. It looks like we don't read out every comment anymore. I'm really sorry about that. Even extending to the 90 minutes. There we go. Oh, Jay's saying it there. Channel will get bigger and bigger, so understandable. Oh, thank you, mate. I hope so. We seem to be growing. We've got a good thing happening at the moment, so I'm pleased with that. I just need to keep up with the videos because I'm running out. I've only got, well, the only one I've got in the bank is tomorrow's, and then I've got another one almost ready for next week, and then I need to get cracking with some videos this week. Greg Green is saying to Rob F, buy the one you really like. Either Squier or Epiphone are great ones to mod. Yeah. Right, let's see if I can get in here. Scott Bogfoot saying hello, thanks for coming, mate. IMA 640, that green Starcaster is a cool looking guitar. Thank you very much, mate. It doesn't look like it would normally. It's a contemporary active Starcaster. Yeah, very cool. Fretting it forward, love the name, mate. Your first guitar was a Fender Strat. Lucky you, mate. Go on yourself. That'll be why you're still playing, no doubt. Dave Lewis, you've modded your Starcaster. That's right, mate. I'll need to check my email, see what the latest is with that. Dave Lewis, Japanese Tokai guitars are excellent. Yes, we were talking about that earlier. Wick along, I always thought modding a guitar in Scotland meant soaking the neck in a good single malt for 6 months. There you go. That'd be nice, eh? It'd smell great as well. Richard Sheehan, your first guitar was an Aria Strat copy back in the early 80s. Then you got a Japanese Squier and you were hooked. There's loads of good brands make under £500 guitars these days. We're spoilt for choice. You're so right, mate. we are very lucky. That's what makes it difficult, is which one are we going to get? Eh? Jay is liking the 90 minutes. Thanks for the feedback, mate. Thank you. Good. We'll stick with that over the summer. I won't be able to do it when I go back to work, but we'll keep it going. Yes, Greg Green also liking 90 minutes, and IMA 640 and Grumpy Old Tyke. Well, if I can get a Grumpy Old Tyke and join the 90 minutes, then that's a win, 100%. Thanks, mate. Thank you for the feedback. Hugely appreciated. Greg Green is saying to Richard, depending on what you have, your old guitars might be over £500 to buy again. Now, that's a good point. Anyone jump on the Tone X One Boat also? Not me, mate, because I'm kind of using my HX Stomp. I know it's not a modeler. No, sorry, it's a modeler. I know it's not a capture thing, but I'm quite happy with what the modelling does. I'm a Luddite. Luddite. Ah, Jay, you've got a £56 pink Fasley. Brilliant, mate. Yes. Lucky you. You got one of the ones before they got discontinued. That's the buy. That's the best buy ever. 100% if you got one of that price. Naughty Prime, just a quick one. What would you get? Jet JT350 or a Squier Classic Vibe Tele? Well, for me, I'm all about maple fretboards. So the Jet doesn't do a JT350 with a maple fretboard, I don't think. Or maybe they do if it's the SS one, but it's blonde. So if that's the case, I would get one of them. If there isn't a maple fretboard version, or roasted maple fretboard version, then I would go with a Squier Classic Vibe. Whichever one had the maple fretboard. If they both have them, I'd get the Jet. Okay, oh, good. Richard Poole, I work at Bonner's Guitars, and I got to say you get bang for your buck for Squiers. Loving the channel. Thank you, Richard, mate. Great stuff. Bonner's, whereabout is Bonner's? I'm wanting to say that's in Aberdeen. Am I wrong? I might be wrong. Or is there a chain of them? Maybe there's a few. But thank you, mate. Great. And there you go, from someone who's currently seeing a lot of them. We're liking the Squiers. Great stuff. Scrambled saying we're busy today. Yeah, it looks like we're busy. Rubbish Guitar Bloke, you missed the fan funding. I must have missed that. I've missed something there. Kel Toy, you're about to rewire your Tokai ES335 and fire a Bigsby on it. Pray for me. Never tackled a semi-hollow before. Nice. If you've already got the Bigsby, go for it. If not, check out a Duesenberg or a Goldo. Or there's another off-brand. Actually, Dave Lewis knows about it. What is it again? Richard Lewis, sorry. Is it Geica? Maybe Geica. Or maybe it's Al Nico or something. Anyway, the Duesenberg Les Trem 2. Google Les Trem 2. Drop-in replacement. And it's reversible and it doesn't do any damage to your guitar. Worth checking out. It's a really good time. Look, this is it here. Sorry, I'll show you quickly. Rather than a Bigsby, which you're going to have to drill into, this just goes on your stop tail. Really easy, and I think they're better than Bigsby's in terms of functionality. I've got one on this Starcaster, and the one you're more likely to see, because the one with the flat bar, whoops, is a bit more rare, but here's one with the sort of like the pole bar. But yeah, same unit, absolutely fantastic trems. If you couple that with a roller bridge, no, I'm wrecking things. Yeah, you'll get some good, better tuning stability. Not perfect, but better. I mean, these things are always hard to get right. IMA 640 says, hit the like button if you want. Thank you, mate. Cheers. Yep. Oh, we're at 9 o'clock and I'm still going to keep going. Right, sorry, I'll be really quick, right, okay. Yep, as far as I know, Starcaster is the only Fender Squier semi-hollow currently being made too. Well, unless you count thin line Telecasters, but yes. And they used to do the Coronado, not anymore. Bradley Clausen, do you call the hole in the guitar an input or an output? Well, for me, I just call it the jack socket, just to avoid getting in that debate. Alright, people are saying thank you. Yeah, forgot about the thin lines. Dave Lewis, Lynn in Glasgow made their 40th anniversary LP12 turntable plinths out of old oak whiskey barrels. Nice. Anton saying, longer live stream, great. You listened to the last 30 minutes through the car stereos. Enjoyment. Thank you, mate. Thank you for listening. Anton wants to thank all the contributors who make this show possible. Thank you all. And yes, that is you. Thank you all so much. This is great. Right, okay, it's that time. Let's get out of here. Bogfoot's put a random video from there. Sorry, I should have mentioned that at some point during the stream to chuck all your links in if you're moderators and you've got channels. Right, thank you all very much. Hugely appreciated. This went well. More water for next time. Squier video tomorrow, 6 PM UK. Thanks for coming. Thanks for watching. Until next time. See you later. See you later.